I was Zeuswolf. Here at Bodega Bamz in the building. Thanks for coming through, my man. Appreciate it.
Thank you, man.
Fresh off your show in Baltimore.
We're all for Baltimore, man.
How was that?
Long fucking drive.
Yeah.
But you know, we love it. We do it for the culture, man. So it was all good, man.
How was it turn out for the show? Good vibes.
I agree. You know, like, I hate doing shows that's like 18 and over and 21 and over.
You should everyone.
I want all ages, because all ages, like, literally, the kids who come to shows is literally between the ages like 14 and 18.
Really?
You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of grown motherfuckers really don't come to shows. And then when they do,
that's true.
They bring their girl. Little motherfuckers come through, and those are the motherfuckers that really come to the show. So
yeah, and those people that go crazy too.
Hell yeah. Yeah, because
people are older, like, gonna be disengaged, kind of?
Not disengaged, but they too cool, probably. You know what I'm saying? So like, they not gonna be wilding the way a 17-year-old's gonna wild seeing his favorite rapper. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you get like in your 20s, you on some shit like, yeah, he's my favorite rapper, but when you will get around him, you be like, you know, you act cool.
Yeah.
You won't be, teenagers are more vulnerable. You know what I'm saying? So like,
you also need some drugs to probably pump you up a little bit when you're at the show.
And little kids, man, them niggas take a lot of fucking drugs.
Yeah, we saw Pusha T a few months ago, and we were just yayed out of our minds, having a great time.
That was us, though. That wasn't other people.
We were yayed out of our minds, having a great time. That's all I care about.
We're guilty of that ourselves.
Do you do a lot of these like one-off shows?
Yeah. So so usually, like, when I'm in, like, when I'm free and I'm in New York, I'm either working and spend time with my family. And, I do the one-offs, here and there. I get a lot of offers, but I really don't like to jump for the money, because a nigga like me, I always like to do shows when it's a big turnout. Like, I don't give a fuck about the paper. I'd rather have a sold-out show than a couple $1,000s, because that's what makes motherfuckers look at it, and you keep on getting billed. You know what I'm saying? So, but I do the one-offs here and there. You know what I'm saying? But like, never in New York, because when I come to New York and I do a show in New York, I gotta make sure that shit is big and it's done correctly. You know what I'm saying? A lot of motherfuckers do a lot of shows in New York and shit, but I like to keep that quality, like, just that. I haven't seen bands perform in so long in New York, so when I actually do, niggas come out.
You kind of like feel like you like building up anticipation for your shows in New York?
Yeah, definitely. Not even like, New York, LA. The big, the big hubs, you know what I'm saying? Those are like, you really can't hit those markets all the time, because there's so many motherfucking rappers out here, man. Like, you do 5 shows in one fucking month, man, in New York. Niggas gonna get tired of you.
It's so saturated, the market. Like, you need to kind of like stand out a little bit.
Are you, like, that one-off show they did the other night? So you're kind of a little bit in promo mode.
Yeah,
right now.
Yeah, because
this project you got coming out, was it June 2nd?
June 1st.
June 1st, All Eyes Off Me.
All Eyes Off Me.
Yeah, what can you tell us about it?
Shit, man. I mean, when you hit, what we could do is I could ask you, when you hear that title, what you think about.
I think about Tupac.
Okay. What else?
Well, it's like you kind of don't want. I feel like within rap, so many people are consumed with focusing on the individual, obviously.
We were literally just talking about something exactly like this.
Well, it's kind of like flipping it on its ass a little bit, because it's kind of taking the opposite view of it, and it's like, take your eyes off me, kind of motherfucker. Like, let music speak for itself, almost.
Think of Jay-Z.
Yeah.
There you have it.
Nice.
So it's basically an artist who is putting himself in a vulnerable state, right? Because what artist doesn't want the eyes on him? Like, that's the total opposite. Like, I'm saying, like, what artist wants to be in the shadows? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, all eyes on me. That's like yo, look what I'm doing. I'm here, I'm there. All eyes off me. It's the total opposite. It's everybody not paying attention to what the fuck I'm doing. So I'm over here with all the eyes off me, and I'm building up an empire and a legacy, so that eventually when the eyes are on me, now it's on my terms. Now I can choose what you want to see.
So do you admire a guy like Jay-Z, and Beyonce too, for that matter? Because they really don't, like, flash at all. Like, they're not out there in the public like that. They're a mystery. And people are, like, even more intrigued by them because of that.
Yeah, definitely. That's amazing how Jay-Z set it up, because you remember at one particular time when Jay-Z came out, he had to be everywhere all the time. Like, Jay-Z was like everywhere, dropping shit once a year. So he's built this repertoire, he's a legend, that he don't have to do that shit. And I love shit like that. Like, I always be questioning, like, I wonder if one of these popping ass rappers, after all they achieve, they just be like, you know what, I ain't gonna drop shit for like 3 years. I feel like when they come back out, it will be just a huge impact. Like, imagine not hearing one of your favorite, most famous rappers right now not drop music for mad long, and not drop music because they're on the decline, just because they just want to disappear. Like, people are gonna be drawn to that shit. Like, yo, like, we need this motherfucker.
Yeah,
you crave it. Chance the Rapper just did that.
Yeah, Chance and he did it 3 years.
Yeah,
he just came out 13.
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying. So exactly. So niggas like him, they built it up. But before, they was constantly in the market, constantly. But now, they create that demand. Like, yo, I ain't gotta be out all the time, and that shit is admirable. It's ill because I like motherfuckers like that. I don't like the flashy and the chica champagne nigga. I like motherfuckers that make their point across, man, and just hit the shadows.
Like, have a body where kind of stand the test of time, let it speak for itself.
Yeah.
But it's interesting because, like, Young Thug is obviously doing the opposite approach that Pump got music all the time.
But,
I love Thug.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, it's not to say that the person that does the opposite is whack. It's just to say that what works for other people is gonna work for another person. So a person like him, like how you mentioned, like, he gotta hit that market. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what's in right now. You know what I'm saying? But when you got people who's like not more legendary, but who've been around for longer, that they can just literally just say one word and sell platinum. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't have to worry about what's out right now. When they come out, they change the whole shit. And that's niggas like, Jay and all the motherfuckers.
Yeah, Jay almost literally said maybe one word on that version of Pop Style that Drake put out, and everyone
went crazy because you see Jay-Z's name pop up, like, oh shit,
verse.
it's Jay-Z, everyone stop what you're doing, come take a listen to it.
Yeah.
Because, he commands that kind of respect.
Yeah.
So when you're starting out, you have that idea in mind, you want to be able to kind of have time between your projects to kind of let it marinate, let people really start fucking with you.
Tour off it.
Yeah, but it's a gift and a curse being because I'm not on the level like the other rappers we naming. Like, I have to literally be consistent on the market. You know what I'm saying? Because it doesn't matter how hot my shit is, like, because I'm not on that superstar level, I can't take days off. And I went into this motherfucker with that mentality. That's why, like, since my name been ringing out, like, I don't have hundreds of thousands of songs on YouTube, 100,000 videos. I'm very, very selective, and I'm always preaching the quality over quantity. But I peep that, like, there's other motherfuckers out here who got quality music and they pushing that quantity down. They busting niggas' ass. So why am I gonna be too cool to be like, yeah, I just dropped one product 1 year and I'll be back 2 years? I don't got money to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have a mansion in the Hamptons to be able to do type of shit. I'm still in the hood, so I gotta keep on hitting that market. You know what I'm saying? So that's my approach now is totally different than it was when I first started. Now I'm just trying to hit motherfuckers, because I already got all the quality music and I already planned it out 10 steps ahead. So it's like I know how to put it in pocket. So if I got music coming out from here, from 6 months from now, it's going to be 6 months of fire. It's not going to be, it was a ride, and it's going to be 6 months of fire, because I already planned it already ahead.
Well, you've been dropping a lot of singles on your SoundCloud, too. You're going with Mohawk Hudson. Mohawk, sorry. But so did it take you a while to kind of figure out, like, that sort of rollout strategy for yourself? Mm-hmm. And, like, kind of, you say fitting into those pockets. I mean, I feel like that takes time to, like, really develop that kind of mentality.
Yeah, it did, definitely. A lot of shit is hit and miss. You know what I'm saying? So this game is all about risk, man. So, a lot of things you put out there, it's not going to always hit. You know what I'm saying? And most of the time it's going to miss. So, you have to be able to evaluate that and make sure that, so now I know how to do it differently. Like I said, like, that was one of my things this year, one of my goals, which is to be more consistent, because, I'm fortunate enough that I have fan bases who they'll stay with me for whatever. But in order for me to make that fan base grow, I have to stay consistent. You know what I'm saying? I can't keep on relying on this pocket of fan bases, this pocket of fans. Like, I need to make that fan double. You know what I'm saying? So I have to stay consistent.
Will you try and alter your music a little bit to appeal to different fan bases?
I do, yeah. I definitely try to be I definitely try to multitask and wear more than one hat. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like that's why if you listen to my music, I always switch up flows.
Oh, definitely.
I always have different sounds of production. Like, it's never just a one thing. And like I said, it can work and it can miss as well. You know what I'm saying? Because like one of the most not popular things, but the thing that most rappers do, they see what's popular, right? Mm-hmm. So whatever's on the radio, whatever's the popular sound, they would either dumb down to that, or they would take notes and they would do exactly that sound, and that's how they will weasel themselves in. See, I can never take that approach. Not to knock it, but it's just like a lot of times we hear the type of music a lot of music that we hear now is just seasonal music, so it will be gone 3, 4, 5 months from now.
So true.
So like, I'm not gonna be one of those artists that is gonna, jump on that boat and then have to worry about jumping off the boat when it's about to sink. I'm saying like, nah, I'd be over here building my own little boat, you know what I'm saying, making sure my shit is Titanic proof, that shit ain't gonna hit no iceberg and all that.
You're on a little Noah's Ark.
Yeah, look, my little Noah's Ark can take all my, it's flood proof.
Got two of your animals.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so
well,
like,
I feel like that's the better way to go about it, though, because like you said, if you kind of do this little seasonal type bullshit, or you try to dumb yourself down to what's popular now, then you lose sight of who you are. We talk about this a lot with rappers as well. You maintain your identity, developing your own identity, and that's just fucking key to your own success.
Well, it's better for the future, but it's harder for the moment.
Sure,
absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And that's what you have to ask an artist. Like, are you grinding for the future, for the moment? And some artists will tell you, I'm here for now, yo. Like, I can't see from 3 years from now, and that's respectable. Like, you gotta respect that. But a motherfucker like me, I know, cause I know where I came from, so I know nothing lasts forever. So I'm always thinking ahead. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not gonna succumb to what's the now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I will make sure that I would take pieces from what's going on now, whether it be the sound or how the videos go, and I just take that and I add my own shit. But to completely change myself to that kind of sound, I would never do. Well,
what's funny is you clearly know a lot about what's going on with like business cycles and hip hop right now, and just the hip hop culture in general. But I've heard you say before that you don't really listen to like modern hip hop at all.
Nah, that's probably messed up. You know, that's probably a bad thing. You know what I'm saying? It's probably a bad thing. Cause Ola told me too, I gotta start listening to new shit.
But I've heard you say the reason you do it though is because you don't want to sound like it.
Yeah, man. It's definitely I got no hate in my blood, man. I'm one of those motherfuckers, man. You can ask anybody.
Takes so much energy.
Yeah, man. Like
You're too focused on your own shit.
Yeah, like so. If I say I don't listen to this person, it's not because I don't like it. It's because I'm not drawn to it. I'm just so focused on what the fuck I'm trying to do and what I'm trying to fucking conquer. You know what I'm saying? But I'm sure there's a heck of a lot of motherfucking music out here.
There's so much music out today. But kind of like going back to what you said before about having that downfield vision, like always thinking ahead. You always had that mentality growing up and stuff.
Nah. It was a point in time where I thought I was gonna die when I was 17 years old. You know what I'm saying? So like, you know, when you come from where I come from, you don't think ahead. You think about surviving right now. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't have that luxury of thinking ahead, and I didn't finish high school. You know what I'm saying? Like I wasn't thinking about college. You know what I mean? So it took me to get into rap music. It took me to get into rap business and go through a lot of struggles and still go through a lot of roadblocks to make me be like, you know what, I gotta start thinking like this and start thinking 5 steps ahead, because niggas is smart and the consumer is smart as well. Not only is the consumer smart, but the consumer has a very low tolerance of you know, 1 week they can like it and next week they can't. So you have to really pay attention to that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's very, very hard to. So once you grasp to a certain fan base, like, you have to really, really appreciate that shit and continue catering to them, because it's so hard to get a following. Like, you know, there's a difference between a following and a fan. You know what I'm saying? Like, people don't realize that. Like, fans is like, following is the dude that will sell out any venue. It doesn't matter what he drops or what day of the year, he's gonna have people there that's gonna be in front of that fucking venue or in front of that CD place to buy the album. And fans are, you know, the guys that, I know who you are. I know the difference. Like, I will see a person who actually follows me run down on me on the street, and the admiration and love they show me opposed to a fan. Like, I see a fan and he'll be like, you Bodega Bamz, right? I'm like, yeah. Yo, so what you got going on?
You should know what I have going on.
You should know what I have going on. So now you telling me that you're not a follower.
You just let me know.
You just I heard his name before.
I was looking at your Twitter today, and I saw someone tweeted, like, it was like at Bodega Bamz, like I think it was a girl tweeted at you, like, with a heart emoji or something, and she was like, I love you, and then you retweeted it and you were like, why don't you follow me?
Yeah, because it's the
just calling him out right in the spot.
Man, like, shout out to whoever that was, but like, come on, don't play with me. Like, how you love me and you don't follow me? You love my name, you probably heard of my name, but there's people out there who that's half-ass shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, but that's to get the reaction. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people do shit for reaction. So when motherfuckers run down on me, you know my name, but you asking what I got going on. So it's either you don't know what's going on, or you trying to be too cool. Either or, you ain't following me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's how I look at shit. And like I said, it took me a long time, you know, being in this business to separate the two. You know what I mean? And I feel like when people, you know the difference between a follower and a fan, bro, you know what I'm saying? Like, you would know who's with you and who's not with you.
Was that like an ongoing process for you, figuring out like the difference between the two?
Yeah, because when I first, you gotta understand, like, when I first came on the scene, like, you know, I always wanted to be in music. I always wanted to be in entertainment. You know what I'm saying? So I always wanted to be like famous. You know what I mean? But not famous that I gotta sell my soul famous. Famous that I could always be me. Because I always felt like growing up, I always had something to offer for the world. You know what I'm saying? Whether it be on a small scale or on a larger scale, but I always know I had something to offer. So, when I first started getting fans, that shit was crazy for me. Like, you know what I'm saying? And then I still have to keep my composure and act like it was nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Like play it cool.
Yeah, play it cool. But I used to, like, the fact that I get stopped in the street, bro, like, I could never get over that shit. That shit is love. Even if it's a hater stopping me, even if somebody that don't even like me, the fact that I'm getting noticed for my work, that shit is love. And not only here, I was in LA, like, and I never be in LA like that. Like, I was telling him, like, I only be in LA when I go on tour. I'm walking down Fairfax, niggas just running down on me. Bodega Bamz. Like, I expect that shit in New York. You know what I'm saying? I expect it because I'm from New York. But when I'm going to, like, different areas, my nigga, like, going to New Jersey and going to fucking Boston and having, yo, shit's Bodega. You know, that shit is crazy, man.
It's still surreal to you when it happens?
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
You remember the first time it happened for you? First time you recognized in the street?
Like first picture.
Yeah, it was from another rapper. Rapper. Yeah. So another rapper ran down on me. I was downtown, and I didn't realize he was a rapper at the time. But you know, he's a rapper. Like I realized later that he was a rapper because I seen him pop up a few times after. But he just ran down on me. And Ola was eating a pizza downtown. Way downtown, like in Houston, and he ran down on me like, "Yo, you Bodega Bamz?" I'm like, "Yeah, what's up?" And that was like the first time, and he was like, I fuck with ASAP Rocky." He's like, "Yo, ASAP Rocky, you know, he said I'm like, you know, the new Beastie Boys of rap, and I see how Rocky speaks about you, yo. So we got that connection." That was the first time ever, and I was like,
"Huh?" This kid's white.
Yeah, he's a white kid. Yeah.
That must be wild though, just like having someone recognizing your face because you put so much hard work in. Like we were talking with Cab G about this actually. Where he's saying like people call him an overnight success. But he's like, I've been grinding for like 8 years doing this shit. I'm now just getting noticed. It's like there's like the saying. You become you're an overnight success 10 years in the making.
Right.
And it speaks just to that. You've been working your ass off, you know, developing your craft, but now you're just getting noticed for it. Mm-hmm. And so that must feel like so just validated.
Yeah, it definitely validates everything, man. You know what I'm saying? Like,
validates the hustle.
And there's always the hunger for more, so you always want more. But you know, I'm one of those dudes, man. I really appreciate my time on this earth, bro, because I done see a lot of motherfuckers go. You know what I mean? Like, and I see a lot of artists too, how they interact with fans. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it be mad negative, and I don't like that shit. You know what I'm saying? Because and you know what's crazy? And the fans, they love these artists so much that they don't even give a fuck if that artist is spitting in their face. I can't be one of those dudes. You know what I'm saying? I'm just a humble motherfucker. Like, I want to talk to my fan, ask him how he doing today, ask her how she doing, or you know, how your family doing. You know what I'm saying? Because I want to have that connection. So I will always appreciate a fan taking their time out. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, to me, and that light, their time is more important than mine. You know what I'm saying? Because without them, I ain't shit.
Do you think it's like more nature versus nurture for you? Like, do you think you're just that way instinctively?
Or
do you think you grew up in that surroundings?
Yeah, I think it's because I grew up like that. I think a lot of times what you see is, you know, when you see like, I might be wrong, but when you see like the artist who's very, very cocky, who's not humble, I feel like that's probably an artist that probably got bullied when he was growing up, or an artist that probably was ugly, or an artist that probably wasn't getting bitches. Yeah. So when he got that light on him, it's just like, it's one way, it's two ways you could go. You could go this extra humble way, like, damn, you know, like, or you could go the, yo, fuck my fifth grade teacher. So a lot of artists
prove them wrong kind of way.
Prove them wrong. You know what I'm saying? So a person like me, I don't mean to toot my own horn, but before rap, I got bitches. I have a kid. You know what I'm saying? I got a baby mom, so I was having sex before.
That's why we're doing the podcast, man. You should be tooting your own horn.
Yeah, I'm saying like so before that, you know, I was always a popular kid, somewhat, you know what I'm saying? I was always a bad little motherfucker running around these streets. I was always getting money in some kind of capacity. So being in music just magnetized it, you know what I'm saying? But I was always used to that. I was always in front of a camera, whether it be in my church or whether it be in a school play. So all this shit was just, like you said, was nature, was natural to me and shit like that. So when I actually am getting validated for it, when fans are running up on me, like, I just deeply appreciate it. I'm not like, ew, like, nah, because I expected that. Yeah.
You know
what I'm saying?
Well, on the flip side of that, though, have you ever had, like, a mob of kids in the street?
Hell yeah.
All swarming?
Hell yeah. I was in Cali, and I had a young female, they brought a young female to me, and she was crying. You know what I'm saying? I had to grab it like, yo, chill. You know what I'm saying?
Like
crying.
joy.
It's like overwhelmed.
Yeah, overwhelmed crying. Like I feel like I was Michael Jackson.
Bamz.
Yeah, like and I'm hugging her, she's shaking. I didn't had.
Like what the fuck did I do right
yeah,
now?
like I didn't had It's kind of scary too, cause you don't know like yo that should be bugged. I didn't had like fans like give them a pound and you could feel them shaking like.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, though, it's an amazing feeling, man. I never take that shit for granted, bro. Never. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm gonna be the same motherfucker whether I ever have 50 million fans. If I have 5,000 fans, I'm gonna appreciate them motherfuckers the same way. Now, I can't be doing certain shit. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, you know what I mean? I can't be going to their crib and staying in their house.
Chilling, smoking blunts with them,
yeah,
man.
but I would definitely take our time, you know what I'm saying? Like, because like I said, I know the difference now between a real follower and a fan. So with a fan, I know how to talk to them. With a person who actually buys my music, who buys my merchandise, I'm not going to just be like, yo, what's up? How you doing? No, I'm going to sit down and be like, what's up? Yo, you good? Like, I know how to cater to both the parties.
Because they took the time to appreciate you.
You got to show that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to show that.
So I want to kind of jump into, I know you talk about this a lot in your interviews, but I want to talk about your upbringing in Spanish Harlem.
Right.
Because I know you're from 119th between 2nd and 3rd.
Yes, sir.
And you talk so proudly about where you're from, which I really admire.
Mm-hmm.
You really put on for your city, you put on for your sect of Manhattan. And I'm kind of curious, obviously there's a huge pride factor, but what is it for you that makes you so proud of where you're from?
As accumulation of a few things. Most importantly, I feel like my culture in general, like I feel like we sell ourselves short a lot. I feel like I feel like we don't see our value. We let other people depict our values. So I seen that as a consumer in just watching television, how Latinos are subjected to one kind of genre of one kind of actor, the drug dealer or the woman in the bodega. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like we have so much talent and there's so much a variety of things that we don't have to subject ourselves just to that, right? So I'm looking at this as a kid growing up and not really relating to it because I was also questioning myself, like, what the fuck am I? You know what I'm saying? Like I wasn't comfortable saying that I listen to salsa. I wasn't comfortable saying that speaking Spanish. My Spanish is broken. You know what I'm saying? And I hate that. I wish I really took Spanish seriously. So, you know, growing up, like, I seen how we were being represented. You know what I'm saying? So I just felt like, yo, man, if I ever got the shot, you know what I mean, to say my piece and to, you know, I'm gonna make sure that I'm gonna be one of those few dudes or those few female, whatever, a Latino who push the culture, man, who try to show that it's so rich and it's so inspiring that we need more people like ourselves to be like, yo, listen, man, like, listen to us. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't want to be like nobody else but ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't expect nobody else to be like nothing else but themselves.
Yeah.
So it took time for me to get in, you know what I mean, to get older and then, you know, deal with a lot of different women and, you know, dealing with a lot of different scenarios in the hood where, you know, racism is so live and vivid, you know what I'm saying? And it's not even racism with whites. It's the racism is between blacks and Latinos. That shit is crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm growing up seeing all this type of shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it made, like I said, you know, being in this rap music, man, it just made me take a stand for shit, man. Like, nah, man, we don't have to be treated like we fucking second tier, bro. We could be first tier, yo. You know what I mean? We could be we don't gotta be coach.
Yeah, because when you talk about it's like almost supposed to give us responsibility in your voice, kind of like you feel responsible for representing Latino culture in a positive light and kind of breaking all stereotypes and stuff like that, or breaking negative imagery of Latino culture,
right?
Which is essentially what you're doing,
right?
You're really putting on for it.
Not negative energy. I just feel like I feel like our own people make fun of ourselves.
Oh, like make caricatures out of yourself?
Yeah, like I like. There's a lot of things I don't. There's a lot of things I don't respect. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't respect when you got Latinos who they make fun of themselves to make everybody else laugh. So if it's to be dressing up like a woman and speaking in Spanish, I don't respect that. Nah, that's not us, bro.
Yeah.
Like, we are prideful people. You know what I'm saying? We're very rich in our culture. We're very honorable. You know what I'm saying? Why do we have to succumb to that to make them laugh? You're not laughing with me, you're laughing at me. So it's shit like that I see. It's not, and it's an accumulation of a lot of things. It's just the musicians who are Latinos or Latinas, and they try to have to change their music to sound a different way because they want people to like them. Nah, bro. Like, and I feel like we as a people, we really don't appreciate our culture the way other cultures do. I feel like we always like, not most of the time, but for a lot of times we really like the last people on the bus.
Do you think it's true just within your sector of Harlem, or just
in general,
large?
everywhere? Yeah. Everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Like everywhere. Like you gotta understand, like Mexican culture is just so beautiful. You know what I'm saying? The people are so beautiful, and I feel like people treat them and talk to them like them niggas is like fucking roaches. And I feel like half of the problem is because they allow that. Mm-hmm. I'm saying, like,
you allowed to walk over us, essentially.
Yeah, like, you know what I'm saying, like, and I feel like in order for everybody else to stop, we have to stop ourselves first. We have to tell people like, no, nah, we this, and we can win Oscars and we can win Grammys. We don't have to win Latin Grammys. We can win Grammys. Yeah. We don't have to be signed to a Latin record label. It doesn't have to be such and such / Latino. No, we can do all that, yo. We don't have to play we don't have to play basketball in Puerto Rico. We could play basketball in the NBA. It's shit like that, you know what I'm saying? I feel like we just sell ourselves short, so we always the last people on the bus. So when I got the opportunity to talk my shit, I made sure people know I'm proud of my fucking culture. I'm proud of my people, and I'm gonna keep on busting that shit in niggas' heads.
I love to hear that.
Yeah. Statistically, you're 100% right, because like if you just look at the numbers, Latino people in America are the most underrepresented people across every industry.
Yeah, exactly. See what I'm saying? And that's just, it's unfortunate. You know what I'm saying? There's nobody really to blame but ourselves. We can't blame nobody but ourselves. We allowed it. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I feel like I have to represent correctly. You know what I'm saying? And I'm doing it not in a corny way. Like,
or speaking from the heart.
Yeah, exactly. So when I speak from the heart, any real person with a heart is going to relate to that.
Sure.
It doesn't matter what color you are. You're going to relate to that. Like, I was in Maryland. Like I said, there was no Latinos in there. It was nothing but white people. I'm looking at these motherfuckers like, wow, that feel good. That a dude that probably live in a house, probably, you know what I'm saying, who lived in a suburb and grew up in a white culture, whatever it is, if you Jewish, Italian, but you grew up in a different culture than mine, and you relate to me like you Latino.
Yeah. That's you really fuck with me.
Yeah, like. That's crazy, because like I expect my people to relate to me, but when I have other nationality related to me, yo, then I know my job is being done.
You got 2 white Jews right here.
It's fire. You know what I'm saying? Like,
go, man.
And it's for y'all motherfuckers to be like, y'all fuck with Bodega Bamz. For me to hit a nerve that will make you be like, yo, that's nice. I like that. That's when the job is being done. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause now I'm not trying to be relatable to my people. I ain't got to worry about my people. I'm worried about everybody, all the other people. You know what I'm saying?
It's the perception of your people.
Right.
And like, you're clearly doing a good job because you're breaking through that barrier. I mean, we're here asking these questions, and that's like part of what you're trying to incite, essentially.
Yeah. Right. So. Even more like about breaking down barriers. Do you think you have a pretty big international following outside of America?
Yeah, not big.
But
big,
it's there.
But it's there.
So what's it like to go to another country? And
I've been to Mexico. I've never been to Europe. And I'll get to Mexico in a little bit, but Europe, I was supposed to go to Europe in 2000, since like 2011, since I came on the scene, like, and it just never happened. It just doesn't happen.
Shit fell through, or like?
It just, I just can't, I have no straight answer for it. So when people ask me all the time, when I'm getting these tweets and these DMs and all that shit, like, Ben, when you coming to France? Ben, when you coming to Paris? Yo, Ben, when you coming to Switzerland? I get them all the time, like literally all the time from different people. I don't know how to answer it, because I want to go out there. I just don't know why I'm not out there. I don't know why a booker out. Maybe the booking agents out there that throw the shows, they don't know who the fuck I am yet. Or maybe, I don't know. It literally is out of my hands. Yeah. So I've never been to Europe, but I'm definitely gonna go there soon. And like I said, when I go there, it's gonna be huge. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause I feel like a lot of people, like, I feel like a lot of people have been waiting for that shit for a long time. Yeah. For a Latino to go out to fucking Paris, and they don't see that shit. They don't see the Dominican and Puerto Rican in Paris. You know what I'm saying?
It kind of speaks to what we were saying before about like waiting 3 years before dropping a project, building that anticipation.
Right.
Now you're building that anticipation of you going overseas to Europe. Yeah. So when it finally happens, it's gonna be fucking huge. It's gonna be fucking lit when it finally happens.
Because like I said, like, it's not like somebody else is going in my place. There's nobody else that does what I do is going to Europe.
There's only one Bodega Bamz.
That's what I'm saying. So it's literally just building that up. You know what I mean? And when I went the only place I've been out of the country is either Canada on tour, or I've been to and I've been to Mexico. And Mexico was amazing. Like the way them people treated me over there was fucking astounding. The way they treated me out there. You know what I'm saying? Like that shit was crazy.
Because of who you are, or just because they're
because of who
nice people.
Both.
Yeah.
Very nice people. Very very nice people. And because of who I am, and because I look like them, and because I eat the same food they eat, and they don't have that representation in hip hop.
They take pride in you.
They take pride in that. Of course, I would.
Of course.
You know, I took pride in
100%.
I took pride in my predecessors growing up, listening to them.
Yeah.
Whoever I was relating to, I used to, they look like me, man. Like his mom probably sound like, you know what I'm saying? So why wouldn't they do that to me if I'm doing it correctly?
Well, it instills hope because someone like me is doing that, then that just means I can do that potentially.
Exactly. That's the correct way to look at things. Like if you want to be inspired, you gotta look at the person and be like, I can do it if they can do it.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? Hell yeah.
So was like Big Pun like a big influence for you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of influences though, I know you're a big Diddy fan, right?
OD, yo. I just had this conversation with Ola walking down here.
I'm very curious I love Diddy too, but I'm very curious what you love about Diddy and why he's such a big influence for you.
Because I don't call him Diddy, I call him Puff Daddy.
Puff Daddy.
Yeah. Why, yo? Because it just how much straight answer can I get? Because I don't want the cliche of he's Diddy, $700 million, you know what I mean, man, or whatever. I just the way he used to make me feel when I used to listen to his music or whatever he was a part of, be it from Mace or be it from Big or be it from the Locks, like be it from Black Rob. Like I feel like from J-Lo, like I think Puff Daddy, like I remember like listening to Public Enemy #1, right? And he did an English version and a Spanish version, and he had all the flags.
I know he did a Smash version.
Yeah. And he's rapping in Spanish.
I never knew that.
Watch that. The video is up, bro. It's a fucking amazing. Like, and he has all the flags. Like, it's just I feel like man, Puff Daddy.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
I feel like Puff, man. Like, man, like he's just his cadence. You know what I'm saying? Like what he brought to the game, his delivery, like his swag. He's from Harlem. You know what I'm saying? Like, Diddy just. To me, the fucking greatest rapper of all time, bro.
You sound like you're probably bummed that you couldn't go to that Bad Boy reunion.
I seen that
last
shit.
night.
Nah,
they're doing too.
Yeah, I seen that shit. I mean, I'm not invited to a type. I'm underground king, man. They don't want to see the underground in there, man.
I feel like honestly though, you're kind of crossing that threshold now from underground. Not like I don't think you're mainstream yet, but you're definitely getting there. Because, you have like tracks with some fucking dope ass people. You have like that Flatbush song, Bring 'Em Out. You have that track with Ferg on Amen. Like you're working with you're adjacent to all these mainstream people. So I think you're definitely crossing that.
Everyone knows you.
Yeah, but that's the.
They got motherfucking bands right here.
Yeah, but that's the goal. Like, why would I tell myself I want to stay underground forever? Why would I put a ceiling on myself? That's like you playing basketball and you saying I'm going to stay in the development league.
Yeah.
No, like I'm trying to go to the NBA. Like even if I'm coming off the bench in the NBA, I want to go on the big stage. So even if I'm not as big as the most famous rapper, I want to be in that realm. I need to be in there, bro. I need to be rubbing hands with you, motherfucker, because it's only right. I'm not putting a fucking ceiling on my shit. Hell no. Like I don't have you know what I mean. Like underground is good to start. You can make a lot of money in this bitch. A lot of money. There's a lot of successful motherfuckers in this shit. But I need that real big light on me, bro. I need that world light. I don't need that. I can't stay in the underground for 40 years. I can't. This is not me.
Does that mean you have radio on your mind?
I already did the radio shit, though. You know what I'm saying? The only thing is...
Well, tracks on the radio.
Huh?
Like, not like radio anymore.
You had some radio play.
Yeah. Hell yeah. 197 and all. Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. That was obviously that's the way to go mainstream, right? So radio. But unfortunately, because I'm independent, literally I pay for everything. So I'm on the radio literally through my networking, through my friendships, not because I'm paying for anything. If I had a record label, that's what they could handle.
Yeah.
Like, here we gonna give this amount of cash for this record. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, like, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I got the radio world and the streets. That's like the mainstream, right? Then you have the internet, which is the underground and the following. Like, I literally be having both foots in each side. Maybe the underground and the internet, my attention is more towards there, but I still have the influence on this side too as well. Except that this side, it needs a little bit more work. Because this the radio side on that side, it's not even about influence, it's about money. That's all it's about who the fuck you know.
Money and power.
Yeah, that's all it really is about. Over here, that's how you influence everybody over there.
Yeah.
Over here on the internet, you just gotta be a dope artist. Just be hot and everybody
put
gonna
out
love
content and people will fuck with you.
Yeah. Well, do you think, I wanted to ask you a little bit about what you think of the underground, quote unquote, today, because, you know, like hot in the streets isn't necessarily a thing anymore, it's more the internet. But because everyone's on the fucking internet, is there really even that much of an quote unquote underground
like a
scene anymore?
Just because
everyone, if you're on the internet, if like you're on these big websites, everyone sees you.
Yeah, I think that because
like the lines are blurred, sort of.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. That's a point, but to me, in my definition of underground and mainstream is basically I would just have to name like artists. So underground is like Tech Nine, Currency. Mainstream is Drake, Jay-Z. So these are the difference. You know what I'm saying? Like they might have they might and respectfully have both the same kind of influence, but who got more money? Who has more who knows about them more? So that's basically it. So that's how I look at shit. Like, I mean, it's still kind of like blurred because everybody can see you on the internet, but not everybody making $1 million on the internet. You know what I'm saying? Like, not everybody making that mainstream money. You know what I'm saying? Like,
underground?
I think so.
I think he is.
Yeah, I think so.
Because he's not like out there like that.
I think just by how he moves. Exactly. He's not out there. Like he I remember he's like the blueprint for motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? Like he's like the blueprint for motherfuckers that like me. Cause he was a dude from the underground that was killing crazy. He's a blueprint. Tech Nine's a blueprint. There's a lot of motherfuckers.
The only reason I say like I'm also kind of biased. I'm a huge Currency fan. I have been for a while. But like I don't know. I feel like he had his most recent album had Future on it. He had Weezy on it. He had all
because
people fuck with it.
Yeah. Exactly. Because he could get those kind of the same thing. Like he can get those kind of and that's what's special about him. That he doesn't have to be a Future or a Lil Wayne, but he can still get those features.
Yeah, just because his own clout.
Yeah, because even like what they were saying. Like I remember like I think he got signed to a record label a few years back, and he got a huge sum of money.
He was on No Longer Cash. Wait, there's like No Longer Cash Money. Still got a fat pocket. He was on Master P's label and also Weezy's label. Yeah, because on Elevator Music, he's like No Longer Cash Money.
Yeah, but he got signed. No, but he got signed to a record label too, like Def Jam or somebody. And
I think he might have been with
or Atlantic or somebody. Yeah. Like, and they gave him.
He was on Atlantic, yeah.
There you go. Yeah. And they gave him a pot. It was everywhere, so they gave him a lot of chicken. Mind you get signed to Atlantic, that's big time. You know what I'm saying? These are mainstream labels, and he still stayed to his underground scene and shit like that. Like, so I would look at him as an underground motherfucker.
That's fair.
But like. You see, but this what I'm saying, the perception is a lot of people think that when you say underground it's unsuccessful. Nah, yo, you can make millions on top of $1 million.
If you have a strong following, like we said before, if you have people who fuck with you, they're going to your shows, they're buying your merch, they're fucking with your music, you're good.
I'm just saying, like, for me, I need to translate, like, when you talk about people like Eminem who started underground and battling and rap underground battle leagues. He transitioned that shit into mainstream and he brought everybody with him. That's why Eminem could fucking tour and sell out Madison Square Garden in 2 hours and he could go platinum because all the motherfuckers that started from the underground, they all came with him. And then he got mainstream fans as well because he did those big records.
So are you trying to do this as an independent artist or are you trying to get a big label deal?
It depends. Like when I first came in this bitch, my mind is always on independent, you know what I'm saying? But
you want to own your own brand?
Yeah, but my moves have to be major. So my mind is always on independent, like, yo, what can I do for self? But the moves gotta be major. And unfortunately, like you know, there's a few ways an independent artist there's only a few ways an independent artist can like generate money. So either you got somebody funding you money, whether it be a drug dealer or be a rich Jewish lawyer, whatever the fuck it is, somebody that's got money. There's only a few ways, yeah. In the label, there's a whole bunch of ways. You got a record label who does it. You know what I'm saying? You got bosses who do it. You know what I'm saying? You have to pay that back, but there's somebody funding it, right? So you'll have to recoup it, but there's somebody funding it. So it's like, Do I want to be signed to a record label? Yeah, if it's right, of course. We could have those conversations because I didn't sign in those offices and had conversations with motherfuckers. So
I'm a little confused. You're with Duck Down Music, right?
I'm not signed to Duck Down as an artist though. Me and Duck Down did a distribution deal to release an album.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. So
there's no marketing services from them for you?
No, there was. You know what I'm saying?
For
that project only though. Not as Bodega Bamz 10 Boys. I'm signing my own 100 Keep It Records. That's my shit.
That is yours?
That's my shit. Yeah. So we did a label thing with Duck Down, and they distributed one album for me. So I'm not signed to them as an artist, as like Buckshot and all them niggas. Like they signed over there. You know what I'm saying? Like
they have good names on that label too.
Yeah.
Sean Prince.
Yeah.
So with 100 Keep It Recordings, so who is on that? Is it just you right now? Like,
I have a few artists. You know what I'm saying? I have a few artists. I have an artist from Far Rockaway. I have an artist from New Jersey. I have an artist from San Diego. I have a few artists, and that's the goal. You know what I mean? To, get a label deal and be able to sign these artists and get them situations and have them blow and just create opportunities for motherfuckers.
So what's more important to you, getting signed to a big label or creating your own label?
I think that's more important.
Which one?
Creating your own label.
Yeah.
Because
it's definitely like the move now.
Like exactly, like if I was to have a meeting, I'm talking about labels. I'm talking about, I need a label deal. I don't need a solo deal. I want a label deal.
Yeah.
Let me bring my label in here in this building. That's the conversations I would have with them. Not, they got been with a solo deal. I think I'm past that. I don't need a solo deal. I need the label deal because I'll be able to sign artists, and this is how I can create opportunities for them. You know what I'm saying? So that's my mentality, a label deal.
Those conversations also have to change when you go into a big corporate office saying, I want a label deal.
Right.
They'll talk to you a little bit differently than if you're like, I'm my solo artist. Like,
exactly, because they know they
can sun you in that situation.
Because they know when I'm going in there, Bam's on his bullshit.
Yeah.
Bam, you can't play with me. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about
shit.
You're not begging at that point. Like, I have value here.
Exactly.
Yeah, you know you have in your camp, and you can provide and will provide.
Yeah, that's my mentality too, like I'm gonna get where I need to go regardless, but it's a difference between going through the elevator and going through the stairway. That's a fact.
So
I need to sweat some more.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Going through like label deals and like, let's say if I want a label deal, let's say I get a label deal, I'm signed to a major record label, Universal, whatever. Now I'm getting to the escalator style. I'm getting up there in the elevator, like it's fast. Over here, when I'm doing independently, stairway, but I'm still making my mark. I'm sweating.
Still anyway,
I'm still going to the same roof. You know what I'm saying? So that's the difference. You know what I'm saying? It just speeds up the process. You know what I'm saying? Like, one way is going to speed up the process, but if your vision is always to the top of the roof, it doesn't matter how long it's going to get there. You're going to get there.
Well, to be fair, rap is a young man's sport.
Right.
Like, once you're like, you can't be like 50 and be having people caring really what you're going to say.
Well,
at that point, you're going on like those like throwback tours.
Right.
And like,
I'll never do that. I would never want to do that.
Yeah,
right.
So I mean, like, time is a factor, and I only say that because you said we're all going to the same place. Yeah, you still definitely could get there, but like you have a window,
right,
before you can like get your money and get out.
You think so?
I think so, because from music,
to that point, though,
obviously your brand. Once you have money that you've made from making music,
right,
then you can put that money elsewhere doing shit like labels and stuff like that.
I think,
but you're not. I don't think you can only be the guy on the television screen right there for so long.
No, I agree. I think a lot of times people get scared of that, like about the time. I think your time. First of all, time doesn't even exist, right? Like technically speaking, time does not exist. Like. Yeah. Who make time? Like, who make clocks in 7:30? How you come up with that in thin air? So let's get that out the way, right? So time is an illusion.
Mm-hmm. Time is defined by how long it takes for you to die.
Right, exactly. That's because that's the certainty. That's the true shit. You know what I'm saying? Now, a lot of times you get rappers because it's a young man's sport, right? Quote unquote. But it doesn't matter your age per se, like the number of your age, because a lot of time with these old motherfuckers, where they fuck up at is that they don't embrace the youth and the young. So that's what keeps you young. They don't realize that type of shit. They automatically saying, nah, these young motherfuckers want to take my spot, so I'm not gonna put my arm around them. But the old motherfuckers, and they out there, who are still relevant, is the dudes that they embrace the youth and they still with them. So even though they're 50 years old, 45,
man, basically,
whoever have you know what I'm saying? I'm just I'm just saying, like, they not worrying about time and age. They know that to keep that youth in spirit and can keep that, yo, this guy is the best or whatever, they have to be around the youth who are actually making those. Surround yourself with the kids. You know what I'm saying? Like that's you stay as a child. You know what I'm saying? In some aspects.
Keeps you young.
It keeps you young, definitely. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it is. You know what I'm saying?
Going off, all this label conversation. So the one deal you had with Duck Down was through the Sidewalk Exec project, right?
Yeah.
So I'm curious, what was that? Because you put out 3 projects before that?
So I put out one solo project before that, and I was strictly for my poppies. Everything else that came after that was almost like a collaboration. So I came out with a strictly for my poppies remix with a producer named Slash Major from Spain. He basically just took my vocals and just remade all the beats into more of a Latino salsa feel, right? Then I dropped another project called Sunday Service with the Martinez brothers, who are DJs. And, they do a lot of house music DJs and shit like that. They're big. They fuck with Givenchy, whatever have you. Sidewalk Exec was the next solo project for me. But it wasn't really a solo project because it was also a project with V Dawn. He did all the beats and shit like that. So I literally have only had one solo project.
Well,
so when you define a solo project though, because you don't produce the tracks yourself, right?
Not that. It's just like I explained it to you. It was like it was a even though V Dawn he did all the production, his name was on the actual CD as well. So it was like Bodega Bamz and V Dawn.
Gotcha.
So it wasn't just a Bodega Bamz project. I've only had one of those and shit like that. So every else has been just a collaboration. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
In that kind of aspect.
It's so interesting though that kind of because you're right. Like if there's a project where it's like one rapper and one producer, it's like, oh, that's both of them.
Yeah, it's both of them.
But that used to not be how it was before. Before it was like you were one rapper and you worked with like one DJ and producer, and then Illmatic came out and that kind of changed it.
Yeah, it's true. But with Sidewalk Exec though, so since this was your first project with an actual label, what was that process like for you? How did it differ from the previous projects?
Oh yeah, so it was it was going to be in stores, so there was some money behind it. It was the promotion was different, and what I learned.
It was really tight, by the way.
Thanks, man.
Of course.
What I learned in that whole process, what Duck Down told me was just to be more. They just made me more calendar friendly, so I was more in. Yo, this guy have to drop here. This guy have to,
like quarters. And
yeah,
shit
like
that.
They calibrated.
They put me down. They put me on to just being more, not focused, but being organized as far as music goes. And do this like this, and so that's what I really learned from it. You know what I'm saying? Like that whole situation. They taught me that good. You know what I'm saying? I don't think they didn't teach me purposely, but because I'm such a sponge, I see how they move and I just absorb that shit. You know what I'm saying? So, the process. I worked out in my own studio, so it wasn't like they put me in somewhere else in the studio. Yeah. So I literally did everything my own as well, and they just overseed everything. You know what I'm saying? Okay. They would just oversee it. So, but I would say that they made me more organized.
Did they kind of not stifle your creative process, but kind of have a hand in what exactly the moves? Okay.
Nah, they're good. Those are good people. You know what I'm saying? They gave me an opportunity. You know what I'm saying? I'm always appreciative for it. You know what I'm saying? Because they put my first album in an actual store, and they gave me that opportunity to distribute it. You know what I'm saying? So I'll always be forever grateful for that. You know what I'm saying? But they didn't do none of that shit. They just are believers. You know what I'm saying? Even to this day, we know they believed in what I did, and they created opportunity for me, and we we created opportunity. We could both get money, and we did.
That's great. And with the actual project itself, I feel like it has such a raw and authentic feel to it. The overall project itself, it's kind of reminiscent to the game for me because I'm a huge game fan, and he's just one. I think the realest, quote unquote, realest rappers in the game. I think some people will talk a certain game but don't necessarily live that lifestyle, or trying to put on airs for some reason.
Right.
But with this Sidewalk Exec album, I just listened to Bring 'Em Out Flatbush, which is just such a dope track. It exudes such confidence and such. I don't know. It's just awareness of your surroundings, you know who you are, and knowing what you've gone through, and it's kind of culminating throughout this entire 12 tracks, right?
Yeah.
12-track project, which I personally love so much because you can really, it's palpable, the authenticity to it.
Nah, thank you, man. That was definitely a goal of me trying to do, just as to keep it authentic. My perception of New York, my perception of the Sidewalk Exec, the Connect, the Poppy on the corner that everybody get their drugs from.
Yeah.
So that was just my perception of it. But it and then the producer V Dawn, who's a talented, amazing producer. You know what I'm saying? So it was definitely, like I said, because it was an album and it was for people had to buy it. Because I'm not that caliber of an artist yet that I can just drop something and sell across Best Buy or something. So it's a gift and a curse. Like I said, it's the the gift being that my album's in stores. I have a barcode. I have a CD. It's memorable. But you can't expect me to go platinum. You know what I'm saying? So because there's a price on it, a lot of people ain't going to appreciate it or listen to it. Because unfortunately, you have a lot of fans who be like, I ain't buying that shit. You know what I mean? Like
especially not streaming.
Yeah, I try to go around it, and you can't knock that either. You know what I'm saying? Because some niggas be fucking broke. You know what I'm saying? Like so. That's why this product that's coming out now, All Eyes on Me, is back to square one. It's for free. So now what I'm gonna do is you can stream for free, and you can stream the shit for free. But if you want to download, you gotta buy. That's how it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, so if you want to own my shit with the download, you gotta buy my shit.
Wait, so is it gonna be on Spotify and Apple Music?
Nah, it's gonna be on SoundCloud. Straight on SoundCloud. Gotcha. I'm gonna stream on my own SoundCloud thing, and then I put it on the iTunes for option to buy.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? So you can stream as much as you want every single day, but if you want to download my shit, then come on, show me love. You know what I'm saying? Like,
what's your view on the whole streaming landscape? Like, what do you think of it?
Yo, there's a lot of money in that, bro.
Yeah?
Yeah, there's a lot of money in that, bro.
You can still make money in streaming.
Alright, so we have this conversation a lot. Like, I feel like if you have like 50 million plays on a song, yes, obviously you're making like 0.006 cents off the stream, so you make good money off that.
Yeah.
But like at the same time, I feel like back in the day, physical record sales were beating out streaming services today. I don't know. I'm talking from a perspective.
It's fucked up because there's no such thing as platinum no more. You know what I'm saying? Because like there was a time where people were selling 1 million physical copies. That was amazing. You would never have that no more. You would never have nobody get 1 million physical copies on any artist. It's gonna be the streaming shit like that. So in that way, it kind of fucked it up. But without change, yo, like it's we can't survive. Those old times is over. You know what I'm saying? So we need to change, bro. We need to change.
So y'all about embracing the change, embracing the evolution of it?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, as long as you still getting paid and you still getting money, like.
And more people can eat now off of music.
Yeah.
It's like, you might not sell units, but more people can like book some tours. More people can like get some checks like being associated with brands.
Yeah.
Just 'cause, like people know you.
Yeah.
Soulja Boy signed a $400 million deal for like signing with like some poker company.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Like.
That's absolutely absurd that he did that.
That's crazy. God bless him.
Yeah.
And also, like, if people are really fucking with your music, like, didn't you just tell me that Pharrell got like a $10 million check for Happy?
I don't think I told you that.
Someone
else told you that.
He got like a double-digit $1 million check for Happy.
Right.
So like you can still get your money.
No, that's fair. Fair enough. And another way you get money is off tours. We talked about your Baltimore show last night a little bit, but I want to talk about your Danny Brown and Flatbush Zombies tours, because those are your two national tours, right?
Yeah, and Underachievers too. I went on tour.
Right. So you're all over there. East Coast movement.
Yeah.
How were those like?
Amazing, man.
Yeah.
Amazing, man. The first time I ever went on the road was with Flatbush Zombies in 2013 for the Better Off Dead tour, and that was their first solo tour.
Oh wow!
Yeah, they took me. That was an amazing time. You know what I mean? We made a bond. You know what I'm saying? Like just a brotherhood. You know what I mean? It's just respect on both parties, and I love the fact that what they're doing, and the continuous success that they have. It inspires me. So Danny Brown, the same thing. Like only thing with Danny Brown is I didn't do the whole tour with him. I only did the East Coast leg. But another guy, nice guy, cool nigga, just gave me the opportunity to put money in my pocket and to, make me build my fan base up. You know what I mean? Allowing me to be on his tour was amazing too.
How'd you and Danny link up?
Well, and how many drugs did you do on that tour?
I ain't do no drugs with Danny. Shout out to Danny. How we linked up? Mutual people. You know what I'm saying? Like okay. we knew mutual people. We know the same. I know his manager. Just mutual friends, man. You know what I mean? Dude, Danny being around everybody in New York and just meeting up with Danny and Danny being a fan, and having that. Like, it's really organic shit.
Quick question on Flatbush Zombies. I know you say you don't listen to a lot of modern hip hop, but did you listen to anything off their new project?
Yeah, I did. But I did.
That was one of my favorite projects.
I did. They're amazing, man. Eric is such a huge talent, such an amazing guy.
God, it's so good.
All of them, and the growth to see how it is. You know what I'm saying? Like how where they came from, and it's a good thing to be a part of. In a way,
they had #1 album this year.
Yeah, man. I mean, a lot of motherfuckers can't have that, man. So
I'm sure it's inspiring too.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? To them, like, just add fuel to the fire, man. Like, but yeah, I'm looking forward to hearing more improvement and more better shit because I know that all they're gonna do is keep on improving because that's what you gotta do.
Do you have any crazy tour stories from like with Danny or the Flatbush Zombies?
Yeah. With Flatbush.
That you care to share?
Yeah. I mean, I got my own.
Let's hear. I want you tell me the crazy ones. I want to hear. I'm curious about you.
I remember we just got on tour. We was in Denver. No, we was in Fort Collins, Colorado. Yeah, Colorado, Fort Collins, right? I believe so. If it's not, man, if it's not, I'm sorry.
I'm really bad with geography.
Yeah. Fort Collins.
Let's go with that.
I think it was Colorado, man. Let's go with that.
Let's do that.
Anyway, so this is one of the shit that popped into my head. So I got my bus out there. We just finished the show. So everybody's on my bus. Got mad bitches on my bus. We all chilling. Boom, boom, this and that. Make a long story short. My cousin who was on the he was almost like he was like my tour manager. So he was the person making sure everything was good. He had left to go to the hotel with his wife. So he left us all on the bus. 15 of us, 16 of us. That's how I was every night, just wilding after the shows. Make a long story short, man. On the tour bus.
Yeah.
Make a long story short, I got off the bus to go smoke a cigarette and shit. Cause we didn't smoke on the bus. We didn't smoke bud. And niggas, there was so many people on the bus that they locked themselves in there. They broke the fucking door, the handle of the door. They couldn't get out. There was about 16 people on the bus.
Christ.
No, there was more than that. It was about a good 20 people on the bus. And it was like it wasn't a full 40-foot bus. It was a 20-foot bus, so you could only hold 12 people.
I would have bugged the fuck out.
20 people, all high, all drunk.
Oh shit!
I'm
That's
outside.
That's an awful combination.
Yo, I'm outside looking. I see the bus moving back and forth.
Just shaking.
Because a bus, when you park the bus, it gets like you press a button and it has like stills. Like, It pushes. It goes up. Yeah. So I see the bus moving around like this, like that. I'm calling my cousin who's my tour manager. Like, yo, you see me? Why the fuck you left for, man? Now this is a fire hazard. This could get a fire here. People were jumping out the window to get out the bus. You know what I'm saying, like, Luke, I tell you, he came in here. He had to jump off the shit. He had to open up the back, the fire exit window to jump.
Damn, yeah.
Jump out that shit. That shit was crazy. And then my cousin eventually came, was working on the fucking thing for like an hour to try to open up the lock, and eventually he had to open up the lock, and then I had to pay for it. Another time we was driving. This was crazy. On my bus, we was driving from San Antonio. We was going to New Mexico. So that morning we getting ready. Now my bus had a canopy, so when we parked, I used to press a button, the canopy come out, we could smoke under there. Beautiful, right?
That's tight.
So again, out there smoking. Yo, let's go. We out of here. Out there smoking. Run back inside the bus. Me and my brother Ola. We start driving. Literally for 5 seconds, the canopy flies off the fucking bus, bro. We didn't realize that because we can't drive with that shit open.
That's like
you have to close. We have to close before you drive.
Yeah.
Yo, we fucking forgot, bro. The shit
Too hot.
flew off, yo.
That 100% happened in the movie.
You're just like chilling the seat, flying by.
Yo, we like, yo, what the fuck? Boom, boom, boom. That shit flew over, broke the window. Yo, that shit was crazy, yo. Like,
it's coming out of my pocket, fuck.
Yo, like, I had to pay, like, I think it was like $1,500. Like,
damn.
Yo, that shit was so sad, yo. Like, I was like, my God, like, the devil.
And it brought so much joy to you in the first place.
Yeah, like, I'm like, oh my God. Like, we had to stop. Yo, I was beside myself. I was like, damn, bro. Because that shit, the bus was already costly. So anything extra after that was just fucking damn, man.
Yeah, that's all out of your pocket.
Yeah, that shit, but yeah, that was another time.
That's crazy. What's the groupie situation like?
What about Bodega Bamz groupies like?
Oh man, it's
much love to all the women out there.
Yeah,
so we love you.
It's a mixture.
Especially Hillary Clinton.
Yeah. Shout out to Hillary Clinton. Groupies, you know what I mean? Like, I seen a movie one time, man, called Almost Famous, and
Great. I was just telling me he needs to watch that movie.
yeah, the girl, her name is Penny Lane, Kate Huston. She broke down the groupie shit so lovely, and this is a movie based in the 70s, and she said there's groupies, and is there groupies and there's band-aids.
Yeah, band-aids.
And she explained, like, yo, it was fire. She explained how some bitches are like, they don't give a fuck about, like, your music and, like, wow, this music inspired me. They just like you and they just want to fuck you. And then there's other girls who really, really enjoy your music and they won't mind fucking you, but they enjoy it so much that if they fuck you, they want to fall in love with you.
Mm-hmm.
So that's basically how it is in modern times. You're gonna have both of them girls. You're gonna have girls who just, oh shit, you got a big ass bust. Oh shit, you got jewelry on, you got chains on. Oh, who the fuck is you? Bodega Bamz. Oh yeah, I heard of you. Yo, can I fuck you, suck your dick? There's those kind of girls and shit like that. And then most of the time, bro, it's always girls that really ain't well kept. Like
ratchet ass bitches.
It's really like ratchet and.
I don't want to touch you with my dick.
Nasty feet.
Yeah, like just do anything. You know what I'm saying?
Not me for HIV today.
Yeah, like there have been situations where man, bitches done use the bathroom, come out the bathroom, that shit would smell like somebody died in there, bro. Like for real, like like yo, literally, I don't even have sex with groupies, bro, on tour no more, bro. I don't even go through that shit, bro.
Not worth
It's gotta
it.
be pretty appealing at first, though.
At first, it was
It's
amazing.
like bitches falling in your lap left and right. Oh my god.
Yo, bro. At first, when I went on the road, bro, so I was an animal. I remember
Slaying.
me and I was on tour with Flat. When I went on tour with Flatbush Zombie, me and this nigga Meech was going back and forth.
I can totally see
Meech definitely.
Me and Meech was going back because Juice got a girl and Eric got a girl too. You know what I'm saying? Like, so now I got a girl. So now I followed their footsteps. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if Meech got a girl, but I know Juice and Eric got girls and shit. So they don't need that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But me and Meech was going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Then he ended up blowing me out the water. You know what I mean? And my little rain died out. You know what I'm saying? He kept on going.
At least you had the rain though.
Had a little rain, you know what I'm saying? But I already experienced it, you know what I'm saying? So now when I go on the road, like, I'm not even thinking about that shit. Like, I got my little girl at home, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not thinking about the woman, like, I kick it with them, you know what I'm saying? Make them show love, but I'm not trying to get into, because bro, you gotta realize, man, there's mad diseases out here, too, bro.
Yeah, I know.
Yo, then bitches be lying about their ages, yo. Like, that shit be crazy.
That's the scariest part.
That's the scariest shit, bro. Like, I cannot...
Can't afford it, man. Those lawsuits.
Man. Like, yo, literally...
Fuck a 16-year-old by accident.
Like, it was a time where we like, yo, we put rules on the bus. You gotta be 18 and over, 21 and over to drink. Like, we have to show you. You have to let me see your ID.
Yeah, have fun going to prison on a
Yeah, like yo,
Yeah,
like
you have to cover your
And then you
ass.
know what it is? It's not. It don't be the girls. It's when the girls go back home and they mom and they dad find out what they were doing. They the ones that put the pressure on them. Like yo, you gotta sue these motherfuckers.
Yeah.
So yo, bro, and I'm not 20 years old, bro. Like I'm a grown ass man. You know what I'm saying? So it's like. It's so
You got
much
responsibilities.
It's so much risk, and then like I said, the bitches that be there are the most ratchetest sometimes. So it's like I'm really gonna risk everything for a girl that I want to. Nah.
I'm not even gonna remember the next day.
So yeah, you know what I'm saying like.
Did you have any hard lessons with that, or you?
Hard lessons, nah. Thank God, nah.
That's
but
good.
I definitely don't remember none of the girls I done had sex with on tour.
Sorry, guys.
I don't remember not one. I done had
Sorry,
girls.
guys.
I done had a girl told me like, yo, you don't remember
Listen
me?
to Famous by Kanye.
Yeah. I done had a girl tell me like, yo, you don't remember me? And I'm like, who are you? And she was like, damn, how many women you done been with? I said, yo, like, not many, but I just
Bodega
know.
motherfucking Bamz
Yeah,
here. What do you want from me?
But I love them all, man. That's one thing too. Any woman, like I can say that shit too. Any woman I was intimate with, I treat them with respect, bro. Like I'm not one of them niggas that be like kicking them bitches off the bus and
Yeah.
nah, I treat them bitches with respect. I'm not a dog like that. So if we grown enough to have sex and shit like that, growing up to fuck and all that, I'm gonna respect you as well though. You know what I'm saying? I'm not one
That's
of those.
good.
So any bitch out there who done let me, any bitch out there who done let me hit, they'll tell you that I was real respectful.
My mom would approve of you.
Thank you. Love.
Terry Hurwitz would endorse Bodega Bamz. I love that. Damn, good shit, man. Good shit. I actually want to get into this. So, outside of your music, I know you act a little bit too.
Yeah.
I want to kind of get into this. You did that little short, Streets Owe Me, cult film.
Yeah.
First of all, when I watched that, I did not expect to see Cypher Sounds in it.
Yeah.
When I saw him pop on, I was like,
Shout
"What's up,
out to
Cypher?"
Yeah.
I know you guys are boys, right?
Yeah, that's my guy, man.
You guys know each other for a while.
He's the first person that was to champion my music in radio. Like he was the first dude put on for me who really went to bat for me to be like, yo, Bodega Bamz he's went as far as to tell me out of all the years that Cypher Sound has been in the radio and the history of hip hop, all the acts he's been around, he has went as far as to tell me like, yo, Bodega Bamz, you're the best performer I've ever seen in my life. So Cypher Sounds is much respect, much love to him. You know what I'm saying? Like he's done a lot for me. Yeah, he's always gonna be around, man.
So how was it making it though? The short.
That shit was fire. You know what I'm saying? Like it was dope.
Yeah, it was
man.
you and your brother in it.
Yeah, it was a good time, man. We shot it in Long Island in a bodega that one of the homies I know own and shit like that. And one of my homies owned the barbershop out there too. So we shot a lot of that shit on scene in Long Island. I brought Joel Ortiz out there. He was in it too. That's another great guy, great dude. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you guys know each other for a while?
Yeah. I was just seeing Joel like 4 days ago.
Oh, word.
But there's another dude and I came in the scene. He championed for me, put his arm around me, him being what he was doing and how long he been in the game, like it was good. But yeah, that was a good A good short.
So who developed the concept for that short?
Well, I did, and
Okay.
I gave it to a director named Guy, and then he just put his touches and brought it to life. But I gave him the ideas, like this is what I want to do. That's what I am. I'm very hands on, and I might not write from front to back the whole blueprint, but I'll give you an idea.
Yeah, big picture.
Yeah. So that's what I did with him, and he brought it to life, and it was through Duck Down. You know what I'm saying? Because he works for Duck Down.
Oh, Duck Down.
Well, Duck Down. Well, I had to pay for that shit. That shit was pricey, but
yeah, it was good production value.
It was good.
Crews are not cheap.
Yeah.
Was that like? Were you doing promo for Sidewalk Exec for that?
So that's what I was doing.
There were songs from Sidewalk Exec on it.
Yeah. So my whole concept was I didn't want to just do the cliche releasing just videos when a project was coming out. So I wanted to do something more a little bit funner and a little more creative than just drop an actual short film with it and actually acting it. Like I wasn't playing. Like I wasn't trying to be cool. I was definitely trying to.
Bro.
Yeah, thank you, man. I was definitely trying to be a
You're believable.
Yeah, exactly. Just believable. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not fucking what's the nigga name? What the fuck is the Puerto Rican guy name, man? Whatever. I'm not fucking.
Antonio Banderas?
Antonio Banderas ain't even Puerto Rican. What the fuck is this guy's name, man? Benicio del Toro. I'm not a Benicio del Toro or John Leguizamo yet. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I ain't got.
You're on your way.
I'm on my way, man. Yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? So I want to just be at least believable. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got to win an Oscar. I ain't got to win an Oscar, but believe. So it was real fun. I enjoyed that shit. I'm definitely gonna do more, man. On bigger budgets and bigger scale.
Yeah, we always try to be an actor too.
Yeah, always. That was my first passion.
Oh, really?
Love. Yeah.
Over rap?
Yeah, over rap. Rap came by mistake, bro. Music came by mistake. Music came because I went to high school and I seen it was the popular thing to do. And at the time, I was writing poetry. At the time, I wanted to be an actor, and I seen all the love that this rap shit was gathering from high school students and the girls and all that. So I'm looking at it as I'm trying to be a part of this culture.
Yeah.
So that's how it happened. I didn't grow up saying, I want to be rapping one day. Nah, like even though I got childhood friends who I've recently met again, and they tell me like, Bamz, ever since you was 10 years old, like you was always rapping and putting things together. So it's always it always starts like that, right? So like when you get to where you need to go, you see throughout your life, this is the steps that it took to get there, right? So me rapping at 10 years old, I'm sure I wasn't saying I'm gonna be a rapper one day. It was just I wanted to rap and it was sounding good. It was a hobby and shit like that. But it wasn't until I got to school when I got to high school when I seen like shit, like this shit is alright, this rap shit. You know what I'm saying? I tried for it, and it was a long fucking process, and I was shitty as hell. But I didn't give up. You know what I'm saying? Because once the seed was planted in me, man, it was just a matter of time for this shit to grow.
So today, in your current stage in your career, do you still want to be an actor?
Yeah.
Like more so than a rapper?
Yeah. So
obviously, your rapping career is obviously very established at this point.
But So when I've conquered everything I needed to conquer, and me for rapping. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna be one of those dudes that's I'm going to act and shit. That's how I am. Like I want to conquer one mountain and don't stay there.
Gotcha.
I'll climb back down and come up another mountain. See, a lot of motherfuckers, that's what you see. Like you
stand at the elevator.
Yeah, like exactly. Like you see motherfuckers, they climb up that mountain, right? They go up the mountaintop and they there. They there. And then they stay on that motherfucker. You don't want to leave because they scared. Why? Because a lot of times as humans, we scared of the unknown. So we scared. What's going to happen when we come back down? What we going to do? I ain't scared of that shit, yo. Once I get on that mountaintop and I'm looking down and I achieve everything I can and my family's straight financially, now it's time to conquer another mountain.
Gotcha.
Another mountain will be the whole actor shit. I definitely want to get in there as a writer, as a producer, as an actor. I want to get into that shit.
Do you think the confidence of like not being afraid of the unknown stems from you seeing a lot of shit growing up?
Absolutely. I'm very spiritual, you know what I'm saying? I believe in God, so I just, a lot of things I just leave it in his hands, yo. There's nothing really I can do. Yeah, like, I try to handle as much as I can in the natural. The supernatural I have no control of. So why am I going to be scared? Yeah, you're going to be scared, you're going to question things, but to be full-fledged, nah, man, I'm not going to do that. Nah, bro, I'm all about risk, man. That's my whole life, man. My life is a big one. You have to be risk-oriented
to making this sort of
field. No risk, no reward, man. Scare money don't make money, man.
And I was talking about being scared, trying to, once you get a top one mountain, trying to go to another. Yeah, you don't know what's going to happen when you try to climb that next mountain, but you've already people know who you are. I'm talking more in practical terms. People know who you are because you're a rapper. So if you go and an established rapper,
sure.
So if you go into acting, you're not starting from the first floor.
Exactly.
You might just take the stairs.
Yeah.
But you might start at the 4th or 5th floor because like you have a following.
Yeah. So a door would and then like I said, this is me talking now. Like who knows how it's gonna be 2 years from now? 2 years from now, I might have $50 million. So it'd be like you said, it would be easier for a door to open. Like Bodega Bamz, yeah, we know who he is. Yeah. Opposed to me starting off fresh and you know what I mean. So yeah, it's like what you said. Like I'm not gonna be one of them motherfuckers that's gonna be 50 years old going through all my hits. I ain't doing all that shit.
Nah. You have bigger aspirations.
Yeah, I'm not doing all that because it's like what even Biggie Small said, man. It was an interview that he said back in the day that was stuck with me, yo. He was like, yo, I'm not gonna be rapping in my 40s. He said, so be looking at a 20-year-old nigga busting my ass every night. It's like, nah, I ain't gonna be rapping in my 40s. Biggie Small said that shit, bro. Yeah. And that's the same. That's how I feel. Like I'm not gonna be in my 40s and have a dude 20 years younger than me look better than me, move better than me, and still trying to keep up with him. Nah, I ain't doing that. I'm not even gonna put myself through that shit, man.
Look at Ice Cube, man. Ice Cube made a great transition to acting.
Yeah.
Killed it in 21 Jump Street.
There's a lot of,
love that movie.
And a lot of motherfuckers, you gotta understand, his transition was so crazy that people even forget that he was a rapper at one point.
Yeah, kids right now might not even know.
No, he's one of the hardest gangster rappers in the fucking game.
Yeah, but think about it. The only reason why they would have any kind of idea because of his name. Imagine if he was a different name. Imagine his name was his real name.
Yeah, when it was his birth name.
Yeah, so anybody, even
Ice Cube be a thing of the past.
Yeah, exactly.
The whole thing of Ice Cube.
Even a 12-year-old, if you see Ice Cube, why his name is Ice Cube? Oh, because he was a rapper. Oh, okay. Imagine if his name was Darnell Williams. You know what I'm saying? Like people won't literally, it would be even more people that would never had no idea that he was Ice Cube, but he needed his name to transition. That was another thing too. That when I made the movie, I was going through do I want to do I want to be credited as my real name or Bodega Bamz? Because I really try to separate the two as well. I don't want to. I don't want to. If I'm gonna be an actor and I'm gonna be successful in acting, you're not gonna see starring Bodega Bamz. It's gonna be starring Nathaniel De La Rosa. That's my real name. Because I'm trying to separate the two.
It's a dope name too.
Thanks, man. I just don't like. I don't like the fucking the whole I understand it. I understand why rappers bring their rap names into music because then you'll have all your fans like, oh shit, I'm gonna watch the movie. But I feel like if you a serious actor, like you look at Tupac, his name was Tupac Shakur. Like he had to add the last name. You know what I'm saying? Because that it's just not Tupac. You know what I'm saying?
Actor too.
Yeah. So that's the type of that's what I would do. Like I would have to put my real name in it if I really want to be an actor. Not even in parentheses like Nathaniel De La Rosa in parentheses, but they got paid. Nah, it's too long. I just want Nathaniel De La Rosa.
Yeah.
Do not think about rap when you think about me acting.
They're two separate entities.
Yeah, like I don't give a fuck if my fans in rap watch my movies. I want to get new fans that watch my movies. You know what I'm saying? Like I really want to separate the two. You know what I'm saying? Like
I feel that. Yeah. So in addition to other ventures aside from music, in addition to acting, I feel like fashion is kind of a big thing for you as well. You know, you got the Tam Boys merchandise.
Yeah, man.
I feel like you also have a cool style too. I've seen you doing interviews where there's dope glasses, the big leather trench coat. Yeah. Kind of like a la Russell Westbrook a little bit with like that out there style a little bit. I love that. Yeah, so is that something you're trying to do? Like kind of get into the fashion game as well?
Of course. Definitely. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm from Harlem. You know what I'm saying? I've always been fly. You know what I mean? I've always been fashionable. You know
always
what I'm
getting
saying?
bitches.
Like, always. You know what I mean? The women love me. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, like, yeah, definitely, you know, dip and dabble into the fashion as well, man. Everything. I mean, every aspect of getting money. You know, I'm a hustler, so I need to get in it. You know what I'm saying? I do it well. You know what I mean? I do the fashion shit effortlessly. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, it doesn't matter the clothes I got on. You know what I'm saying? I make the clothes look good. The clothes don't make me look good.
So with the Tam Boys merchandise, are you trying to be like the face of it, or are you trying to make the Tam Boys self-be its own image?
Nah, yeah, exactly. So yeah, so I want, you know, obviously I have to sell it, you know what I'm saying, so I have to be a part of it, you know what I'm saying, but I'm trying to get to a point where it just moves on its own, and I feel like eventually it's going to get to that, because I got a good team behind the Tam Boys, the clothing, you know, and we're going to turn that into a high fashion brand. So you know, this will be like, you know, the regular merch and the good tees and the shirts and the sweaters, but eventually we want to get into the high fashion with threading and really having factories of good shit. So that's going to take some time, you know what I'm saying? But like I said, we take pride into the clothing shit too. Like I said, my merch is amazing. I love the way my merch is being perceived, and how the feedback of merch has always been good. And I've been stepping up my merch every single year. You know what I'm saying? So
are you looking to get to a point where you said you're looking to go a little bit more towards higher fashion. Would you like to be at a point where you're really only wearing your shit every single
Absolutely,
day?
yeah. Because when you think about it, I spend so much money wearing other people's shit. So if I could get to a point where my shit is wavy and my shit feel good and I have the same kind of threading and material and sewing as this high fashion brand, if I can ever have that, why would the fuck would I waste my time wearing them niggas shit? You know what I'm saying? Like,
rock your own shit.
But you gotta understand, when you rock your own shit, you gotta make sure that shit is fire.
Oh,
it can't be corny, it can't be whack. You gotta make sure the shit is, when you rocking it, it's not looking like, you rocking it because it's fashionable first.
Yeah, definitely.
Then you rocking it because it's your shit. Not because it's your shit and it's fashionable. It has to be fashionable first. It has to look good. You know what I'm saying? Like,
are you hands on with the design process?
Yeah, definitely. Everything I go through, me and Ola, I gotta see the logos. I gotta see. I send ideas to my Tan Boy merch team. You know, they talented as fuck as well. You know what I'm saying? I got a good team of dudes out there who's doing their thing, man. You know what I'm saying? They definitely elevating me and they elevating the brand, clothing wise, to go higher, man. And you know, the clothing translates to the music.
Sure.
So as good as the clothes is, you know, the music would get better as well. And visually, it just looks good. You know what I'm saying?
I feel it's also like a representation of the music itself.
Yeah.
To a certain degree.
Yeah, definitely.
And so with the talking about Tan Boys, do you mind just explaining, like, for the record, like exactly the whole Tan Boys movement real quick? I know obviously, like, I just want for the record, essentially the Tan Boys movement.
Yeah, I mean, Tan Boys movement in a nutshell, you know, it was going back to, you know, how proud and prideful I am of my people. Was I was just tired of being called them Spanish niggas. I was tired of people putting me in a box as the Spanish guy. You know what I mean? Everywhere I go, whether
Because you're not Spanish. You're not.
I'm
from
not
Spain.
Spanish. I'm not from Spain. You know what I'm saying? So
it's just
like,
ignorant.
so I was tired of the ignorance of just putting us in a box, yo. Pick the Spanish guy for basketball, man. You got next? Nigga, call me Tan Boy, nigga.
I'm Puerto Rican, Dominican, but thank you.
You know what I'm saying? So Tan Boys, you know what I'm saying? Tan Boys is another term to, you know, to call them Latino motherfuckers that go through the fucking building with 50 niggas and blades in their mouth. You know what I mean? Tan Boys is the fucking army that Sosa sent to Tony Montana in the end of Scarface. That's Tan Boy. That's
So it's a lifestyle, essentially.
Yeah, of course. It definitely is a lifestyle. It's not
in your DNA.
It's not a season thing. It's not a fad. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not something that would come and go. It's definitely a culture. It's a movement. It's a lifestyle. It's a stampede. You know what I'm saying? And that's how it started off.
Yeah.
Just a whole bunch of Latinos.
I think you just scared a lot of people away from being associated with Tan Boys.
Why you say that?
Dudes who are going to shoot up Scarface.
Yeah,
the dudes who are walking through with razors in their mouth.
Yeah, man.
Cut you up.
Hell yeah,
Wholesome
man.
people.
Hell
Can't be a
yeah.
Tan Boy who's a chemical engineer.
Gangsta, of course, hell yeah. But you know, you gotta have an uncle that do that though. You know what I'm saying? So, your uncle or your cousin do that. Your
Actually,
younger
no.
brother.
Going off that, I'm curious. So you have a son, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, you've seen a lot of shit growing up. For your son, like, do you want him to, you know, follow your path into rap, and do you want him to?
I want my son to do whatever he want to do. I want my son to do whatever he want to do and do it the best.
Yeah.
And that's my job. You know, my job is not to tell my son what to do. My job is to tell my son whatever he chooses to do it to the fullest. You know what I mean? I'm a dude like, yo, I love my son regardless of what he do. You know what I mean? It's fucked up as it sounds. If my son want to grow up to be a drug dealer, I wouldn't approve of it, but I'm going to love him the same way.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if my son want to grow up to be not to say, I hope he doesn't, but if my son want to grow up to be a fucking assassin, you know what I'm saying? Or he wants to work in the CIA or a police officer, I'm going to love my son the
Still
same
love your
way.
boy to the death.
And I'm still going to tell him, listen, whatever you want to do, just do it the best, do it 100.
So you clearly have like a very familial love to you, and I feel like part of that familial love extends to your late, you know, friend Yams. And I know you talked about this before in interviews. I'm sure it's hard for you to talk about, but I just want to kind of touch on this a little bit, just for the sake of the interview. Kind of discussing your relationship with Yams to a certain extent. If you don't mind touching upon that.
Yeah, that was just, you know, that was the little big homie.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That was a dude that was younger than me.
You got a tattoo on your arm.
Yeah,
right?
but we treated him like a big homie because he was knowledgeable, he was loving, he was humble, and he always wanted to help people. And I was one of those people that he helped. So I'm for life indebted to him. For life, I'm indebted to his mother and his family. You know what I mean? Like, everybody that know me know the connection and and everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's visible.
I feel like it was monumental. Obviously, it was monumental to the whole New York hip hop scene. You know, just like the congruity of it and the advancement of it.
Yeah, he was one of a kind, man. You know what I mean? One of a kind.
Yeah.
And we were talking earlier about how you want to be the kind of person that's putting your arm around a younger artist or a younger kid and just kind of showing them the way. And a lot of people, I disagree with them, but a lot of people will say how they think like New York fell off and shit. There's obviously a lot of talent coming out of New York right now, but I think the reason why a lot of people will say that is because I don't think New York is as united as a lot of other cities like Chicago or Atlanta. And I kind of felt like Yams was the bridge to kind of unite everyone.
I mean, he did. He united. He united everyone that mattered.
Yeah.
Basically, he united everyone that mattered. The other niggas that want to do their own thing, it really ain't matter. The niggas was just scratching the surface. But the people that Yams united together, they all mattered. They all was pushing the culture. They all was doing cool shit. So yeah, he was definitely a bridge, man. You know what I mean? But New York is. New York, that's what it is, man. New York is crabs in a barrel. It's always gonna be that way.
We talked about this a lot.
Yeah.
What is it? What is your view on the New York music landscape? Like, how do you feel about it relative to Atlanta or Chicago?
I think
or LA for that matter.
I think New York music, we don't have an identity. But there's not to say that it's not whack. I mean, that's not to say that it's whack.
No.
You know what I mean? But we just don't have an identity no more. You know what I mean? Then you have a few artists who you have.
Is that bad though? Sorry to cut you off, but is that a bad
Nah,
thing?
it's not bad. It's not bad because unfortunately, just when we go back to what we were saying, we're in a game where there's not a lot of people, there's not a lot of risk takers. There's not a lot of people who are actually rebels. And unfortunately, there's a lot of people who will they will listen and look to see what's hot and they will emulate it. Mm-hmm. They're not trying to take that style and create something else. They're going to emulate it. So unfortunately, because New York is so huge and New York is so saturated with so many artists, in their minds, they don't want to stand out. They want to be a part of the pack. I'm saying they don't want to stand alone. They want to be a part of the pack. So that's why we don't have that sound that we ever had before. And we never really had one sound. We just had everybody in New York not sound like the next nigga. You know what I'm saying? And now it's not like that no more.
It's more its own brand, kind of.
Yeah, now it's like, we sound like other regions and shit like that. You know what I mean? And then we making less money out of it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because other regions are killing because that's what they're supposed to sound like.
Well, I feel like Rocky got really big because he sounded so different from what New York was known for. Yeah. Not just that, because he's an incredibly talented musician. I love Rocky. He's one of my favorite artists. But I feel like New York's been so known for a certain type of sound.
Yeah.
From the golden era, because we kind of laid the foundation for hip hop.
Yeah.
And then you're kind of held to that standard to a certain regard, for better or worse. In this current era, I think worse. And then Rocky comes out, puts out a very different sound, and then people are like, oh shit, New York guys are kind of putting out this sound, I'm gonna fuck with this dude right here.
Yeah, I mean, at this particular time, there's never gonna be that New York sound of the 98s and the 2000s, of the DMXs. There's never gonna happen.
Shouldn't be. It should advance.
Yeah, exactly. It's all about change. Without change, we can't survive.
No.
That's the.
Can't be stagnant.
Yeah, hip hop isn't what it is now if we don't evolve.
Yeah, so I'm not against it. It's just. It's what it is for the time. This is the time. You know what I'm saying? This is the time that we're in right now. This is the sound that's in. But like I said, as a consumer, as a person who listens to music, you have to be able to know, is this going to come and go, or is it going to stay? Mm-hmm. And only you can answer that. Only you as a listener. You smart enough to know this will be a fave. This will pass. And then there's some sounds that be like, oh, this is gonna be around for a little minute. So that's up to you to really evaluate. Not to say that it's not hot. It could be the hottest shit right now. Mm-hmm. But then you have to ask yourself, like I said, this is hot right now, but about 6 months from now, what do you think it's gonna be?
Yeah.
And that's the question you gotta ask yourself.
I feel like that's not as easy of a question to answer though.
You don't think so?
Because I remember when I first heard Young Thug, I was like, oh no, I wrote him off.
Yeah.
I was like, oh no, I can't understand what he's saying. Like, I don't know what it is. And then Thug stayed around, people fucked with him, and now to the point where I actually like his music.
Yeah, I'm addicted to his music.
I think it's a hard question to answer, to be honest.
Young Thug is amazing talent.
He's a beast.
It's like, honestly, I was just like him. I always kind of dubbed myself as like a music hipster, in the sense of like, oh, if like everyone's fucking with you, I'm not really gonna fuck with you because like then you're kind of whack. And like I was in the bar to 6. Like maybe 5 times through, and I just got fucking addicted to it. And all Young Thug now I'm addicted to. He has a very different sound.
Yeah, but you're saying you're bringing up an artist, right? So he's an exception. But I'm talking about the sound. Like think about how many artists
sound like him.
Think about how many people who sounded like him when he was coming up who are still relevant right now. There's not too many.
That's right.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, the sound's gonna change, but there's gonna be that one artist, that one talent that he really pushed it forward, and he's always gonna elevate. So it's always gonna change. Like, yo, like I said, even for like the sound will change. You should know when the sound was gonna change, but obviously, like, you know, there's gonna be exceptions of an artist that his sound was that like that, but why is he still around? Because he was extra successful and extra inspiring, and when he was doing that sound.
I feel that. So, like,
there's also value in being first.
Sure,
like, he was
the first mover. He's the first mover.
And not only was he first, but he did it first, but he did it better too. Because a lot of times you could do it first and somebody else could come and do it better. But he did it first and he did it better too. So now he left no leg room for nobody else. So y'all can all get this money with me, but when this boat dies out, nigga, I'm still gonna be afloat, and y'all motherfuckers are gonna drown.
This is my arc. So talking about all this sound, I mean, tying back to your project that drops in 10 days, do you have a sound classified for this project?
All
Eyes Off Me?
Yo, it's a dark celebration, man.
A dark celebration?
Dark celebration.
What does that mean?
Man. We celebrate it in the dark times, man, even though it's a contrast. It's good and bad.
You appreciate the dark times?
Hell yeah. Without the dark time, I can't celebrate in the good times. You know what I'm saying? Without the dark time, I can't celebrate in the daytime.
So
did you think about that as a title? Dark
I
Celebration?
did. And I actually released a record called Dark Celebration. I went through a few titles. So all I wanted Dark Celebration. I had Dark Celebration. I had Gunsmoke. I had Gunsmoke. I had Gunsmoke Studios. Like, I had a few shit, like, I had a few names and shit like that. I'm always going through names and shit, but Dark Celebration is like, it's a perfect example of what type of fella is it. You know what I'm saying? So, you're going to have the celebrating shit or whatever, but it's still dark because I'm still dark. I'm still in that bubble of, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm still in that, what's good.
Gritty.
I love
but it's also gritty, but it's celebrating gritty. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's basically what I can say.
So my favorite analogy for this, it sounds super nerdy, so like I'm gonna say it anyway. So in space there's dark matter, and you can't see it, but literally the dark matter shapes everything around it. So you can't see the dark matter, but without the dark matter, the universe can't exist.
There you go, man. Yeah.
But that's like the perfect analogy. I say this all the time because, like, whenever you have a shitty situation in your life, that shitty situation is gonna help you get to a better situation.
Right.
And like that's just it. That's a dark celebration. You're celebrating the shittiness because that shittiness is getting to where you need to fucking go.
Exactly. And you know what I like to do, man, too? Like, it's biased. It's always been biased. I always feel like it was biased for me to really describe my music. I always love to hear, what are your perception of it? Like, what do you hear? Like, when I ask you, what do you hear when you hear All Eyes Off Me? You said, I hear pop.
I nailed that shit in the head.
And then he says something totally different. So that's what I like, you know what I'm saying? Like, because I can sit here and say, yo, so what are you looking forward to? What kind of sound is it? What's the best sound in the world? You know what I'm saying? I could be like, yo, it's the best sound in the world. That could be my. If somebody asks me, like, yo, how can you describe the new shit? I could be like, yo, nothing else sound like it. It's the best shit in the world, and I'm the number one. I'd rather have a fan's aspect or a fucking consumer answer that question for me. But like I said, in layman terms, man, a dark celebration. You know, All Eyes Off Me. Everybody's not paying attention to me, and instead of being mad and bitter, I'm just turning that negative into a positive, because you're not paying attention to me for whatever reasons you have, right? Yeah. I'm not gonna sit here and be the rocket scientist and try to figure out why the fuck you're not paying attention to me. What I'm gonna do is, while you over there lollygagging and paying attention to other shit, I'm gonna be here building up that motherfucking resume and building up that legacy and building that arc up. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So you like the process of, like, fan interpretation?
Oh yeah, hell
like,
yeah.
Asking me what I think, asking him what he thinks.
It's essential to kind of, I don't know, testing out your fan base and seeing what they fuck with. At the end of the day, it's your fan base that makes the decision. Like,
I think, exactly. Like, you know, ultimately, you know what I'm saying? You know, you want to push the buttons and you want to just, this is how I feel, which is always should be how you feel. But you gotta ask it. You gotta ask, what is the temperature? You know what I'm saying? Like, what you think? Like, how does that sound? You know what I'm saying? Like, just so you can know where you're going. Like, you know what I mean? Like, opinions, you don't have to follow the opinions, but they're definitely needed. You know what I'm saying? Like, you need to hear opinions, man.
Sure.
It's also a testament to the kind of product that you put out, that someone could have, that like 4 different people could have 4 different reactions to what you make.
Right.
It means it's just making people think.
Nah, exactly.
It's not just basic.
And that's the truest testament to what art is. Art is open to interpretation. That's the whole beauty of it.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I just feel like All Eyes Off Me, and it's so super creative. Cause think about it. How many people have said all eyes on me and have never looked at that and said, wait, I'm gonna say all eyes off me. It's something so simple because it's simple as fuck. All I did was tick the N out and put 2 F's in the word on, and it's something so simple, but nobody else did it.
But it's so big at the same time.
It's so big.
It's
like
the idea
come on,
of
bro.
it is so big.
We talking about 20 years of creating. We talking about I don't know how long that album came out with Tupac shit. Why nobody thought about saying yo all eyes off me? Nobody ever did it.
Yeah. No, we just interviewed a young female artist out of Chicago who has a project coming out called "Fuck the Public" instead of "Fuck the Police."
Yeah.
Same kind of thing. It's just like you're mixing around words.
Flipping
it
it
makes
on its head, essentially.
and,
like,
yeah, and something like that just makes you think.
Definitely.
Yeah,
It's like
exactly.
an age-old concept, essentially. You're flipping it over on its head, making a new meaning out of it. And
Shout out Mobo the Great.
Love you,
It's our
Mobo.
project.
But yeah, man, that's, I'm fucking pumped for the project.
Yeah, man.
You excited for it?
Absolutely, man. It's my best work thus far. This is the work that's gonna define me. So everything else before that don't mean nothing to me, honestly. Like I don't like. This is where the bar will be raised for me. You know what I'm saying? Like for me, like I can't say I'm gonna change the game and the sound, but for me, this is what's going to define Bodega Bamz.
Can you
It's
give
healthy.
us any hints at any features on
No
the project?
features on it, only 2
No?
features.
Oh, damn, all right.
Only 2 features of my artists. You know what I'm saying? Like I ain't
Gotcha.
got no features with nobody famous, nothing. I took it back to that root.
I assume that was a conscious decision.
Yeah, like pay attention to me.
Yeah.
That's the whole point. All eyes off me. You know
There
what
we
I'm saying?
go.
Like now it's time for
The
you to
irony
pay
is
attention.
very clear
Yeah,
now.
like it's exactly. It's just like like why to get the features and all that shit? I'm not gonna do all that because now niggas, I don't want you to pay attention to me because I got a feature of an artist that's popping. No,
Yeah, okay.
nigga, pay attention to me. I'm monitorizing that. I'm monitorizing your attention towards me. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna keep on delivering dope shit. So whether you pay attention to me now or be 3 years from now saying, yo, that all eyes off me, Bodega Bamz was the best, I got you. This is, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, time is a fucking illusion. Like I'm not worrying about whether it's now or 2 years from now. I know my shit gonna test the time. You know what I'm saying? Like I know everything I do tests the time.
I love that. I love that. We're looking forward to the project. June 1st.
Absolutely.
June
1st, All Eyes Off Me. It's dropping. Everyone go cop it on SoundCloud. Buy it off iTunes. Yo, man, we really appreciate you coming through for this.
Yeah, man,
honestly,
this is excellent.
Yeah,
appreciate
man.
us time.
Fuck yeah, man. With the good old champagne.
Of course,
The bubbly.
We'll get Hennessy next time for you, my
Yeah,
man.
word up.
Cheering coffee.
Good shit, dude.
Good coffee, man.
All right, bro. Appreciate that.
Yeah, man. Thank you.
Word up, man.
Appreciate that.